Bueno, bueno, bueno. Hola. Tanya Lee. I'm an intuitive psychic spiritual counselor, physical medium, remote viewer, automatic writer, inner child, shadow worker, life coach, angelic healer, paranormal investigator. Bueno, bueno, bueno. Hey, hey, hey. How is everyone tonight? If you're watching the replay, you might want to skip through for a few minutes because we do need to get in here and start sharing. As you come in, let me know where you're at in the world. Hey, Valerie. Everything I know is right up there.
In the lunch room?
Uh-huh. Hey, Kimberly. I can't share, so please share me out. Wisconsin, Illinois. There we go. Hey, Kaylee. How are you, stranger? I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you doing? South Dakota. Hey, Katie. Hey, Angela. Hey, Kimberly. Massachusetts. Very good. If you guys could kindly share me out, that really would help me a bunch. Arkansas. Hey, Peggy's in the house. Woo, woo, woo. Miss Peggy's in the house. If you guys could share me out, I'd greatly appreciate it. Massachusetts, tag a friend, give me some loves and likes, support a sister as she supports you. Hey, Deb, Iowa. You know, there's something very strange going on in our community, and I wanted to talk about it. You know, as the awakening has, I'm going to go ahead and get into it, and please share me out. Please help support the message. Oh, I know. It's been a long time. I'm glad to see you. Hey, Ashley. Okay. So, you know when you wake up and you have your spiritual awakening, that you have so much that you have to look at and realize isn't real? Oh, thank you, Deb. Love you. Do you know, when you're having that spiritual awakening, you kind of realize maybe something about the government or something about the school system, or maybe even within your own home. Hey, Allison, welcome. My ears are going to start. We wake up to this stuff and we realize it, right? And we stop engaging, right? We stop engaging in false things. And that's part of awakening and becoming spiritual. You stop investing energy into things that are no longer serving you, that's the whole point, right? That's the whole point. And in every society, in every culture, in every group, whether it's, you know, no matter where it is in the world, there's always somebody that is going to add to the drama and the negativity, because their job is to bring down, right? Their job is to bring down you or your vibration and keep you stuck, right? Okay. Thank you for the stars. So the same thing's going on in our community, and we see this in in the big world picture, right? Many of you have woken up to, things like the children that, probably a lot of you didn't know. You woke up to a lot of things that, are just going on, right? But don't be fooled that we don't have that within our own community, okay? Every community has it. Every community. I'm having my evening coffee. I need it. I've been up since 4:30. I finished my training. Yay! Yes, I work a full-time job. And this. And DJ's program. And the church that I work at. I love it. I love staying busy. My point is this, okay? You guys need to understand something. There's not a living being that's walking around that is a archangel or a ascended masters. We can have qualities of them. We can have qualities of the ascended masters, of the archangels. But we are not that. Okay, we are not that. And we cannot be that for a number of reasons. For one, the archangels do not need to come to earth for anything. They do not have the same wants and desires that we do. They don't vibe on that level. And until you die and go to the other side and see that being, you will understand. Our body could not hold their energy. Their energy is so vast that there's no way that we can hold that physically. So when you've got people, you guys really need to start paying attention to what you're doing, is what I want to get at. You really need to pay attention to what you're doing and who you're watching and who you're supporting. Remember, when you get on a live and you're on that live, you're putting your energy into that individual. So you're giving me your energy right now. You're giving me your attention. Your attention is energy. Okay? Everything is energy. And there is a ton of people out here that's trying their best to help you all evolve, help you grow, help you with whatever you need. Okay? Please stop treating spirituality like a primetime TV. This isn't prime time. This isn't, what do they call those life movies or those life shows? It's not that. It's really not. And what we've done is we have replaced the TV with Facebook. And we scroll and we see somebody, and even though we may not agree with their message, we may be on their live laughing or just in awe of what they're saying because they're so much an idiot. And I can say idiot, because an idiot is somebody that knows better but chooses not to do better. That's an idiot. They know better, but they choose not to do better. So they choose to come up here and call people names and put them down and scream and hoop and holler. And the louder they get, the more negative they get, the more of you guys jump on there and watch and feed it. This is the same principle. If somebody was on the street, this is the exact same principle, guys. If we were all on the street right now, all of us together, we're on the street and somebody comes up to somebody and they start beating the shit out of them. And we start making a circle around them. Right? Nobody calls 911. People just get their phone, start recording, start laughing. And that person gets beat down. And nobody does anything. And then we wonder why our world And our children react the way they do. You can be spiritual and stand up for justice. There's nothing wrong with standing up for justice. That's part of the balance. That's part of your masculine that needs to come out. And it needs to come out. There is no one person walking this earth that has the ability to judge and tell us where we're going to go. We all go to the light. I repeat, everybody goes to the light. I have astral traveled. My husband has taken me over there. I've asked to see it in progress, and I've seen it. Now, you can believe me or not. I really don't care, because I know it's true. But to go through the light, you must face what you have done. You must come to terms with your stuff. You must see and feel how you treated other people, good or bad. Good or bad. That's why it's important to do your shadow work over here so you have less to deal with. Hey, Suzanne. Thank you for being here. Please share me out. You have less to deal with. Some people don't want to do that and they don't go to the light, and that's okay. You have free will on the other side, just like you have free will over here. Free will is free will. But listening and supporting the message of, people dying and laughing and thinking that that's funny is crazy, because that's not of love and light. There's nothing of love and light there. And I'm telling you, for your own good, and this is important where you guys need to hear me. And if you drop off, you drop off. You don't want to hear it, you don't want to hear it. That's fine. Who needs to hear this will hear it. But I will tell you this. When you sit there and you're a part of it, whatever happens to the people on the other side, you are a part of that responsibility. Just like if you were in a circle and somebody was getting the shit beat out of them. If that person died in that circle because that person was beating the shit out of them, and all the circle around them didn't do anything about it, that's all their karma. That's everybody's karma. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is very important. Because we're to the point that, yes, Mother Nature does things. It's not the end of the world. This world will never end, guys. This world is not going to end. We will end before the world will end. Mother Nature knows how to take care of herself. And yes, there's going to be volcanoes. And yes, there's going to be tsunamis. And yes, there's going to be hurricanes. And yes, there's going to be tornadoes. They've been going on from the beginning of time. But to use this as a way to make people scared and think that they're going to, die. And you're sitting there on the live laughing about it, enjoying the show, watching the show, makes you just as liable as being in the middle of the circle. And right now, we all need to be working on getting our karma in check so we can get out of karma. You want to rise out of karma. You don't want to stay in karma. Karma is an old system. It was one of the first systems that was brought to earth. We don't need it. We have evolved. We don't need to use karma. But if you hang around negativity or you listen to negativity, even if you don't do it, but you're there listening to it, then you're creating karma for yourself. And then you wonder why your life ain't getting right. You wonder why, things happen. I mean, we're not ever going to get away from other people's free will to do shit to fuck things up for us. There's always going to be people out there like that. But for the most part, our life is a direct effect of how our energy is. And if you are over there in promoting that with your little loves and likes, and you're creating your karma. When you've got somebody on a live telling people, hey, don't take your medicine, and they don't even know what kind of medicine the people are taking, and then the people get off the live, maybe they don't take their medicine, maybe they died. You know what? We'll never know. We'll never know who might have died by that message. That's not spirituality. We don't put shit out here to make people die. We don't help that process. We are light workers. We are here to uplift and help people from dying, from depression and suicide. That's part of our job. We don't push them down to do it. So when you've got somebody sitting there talking shit, saying, oh, well, you know, just don't take this, don't take that. No. And you're on that live and you're listening and you're not reporting it, because you should report it. Just like you should report that poor guy getting the shit beat out of him in the circle. It's no different, guys. Do you not understand what I'm saying? This is very, very, very important that our community understands this. It's the only way to bring it to a stop. The only reason why it exists is because you feed it. You get on there and you listen to that negative message. Even if it's a show, even if they're comedic about it. It's like rap music. They might have a nice beat to it, right? You can really dance to it. It's a really cool song until you understand the words. Do you listen to it anymore? Or a TV show that might have, you know, be really funny, and then you catch on to what they're trying, their underlining words that they're, you know, the underlining message that they're trying to send. Do you keep watching it? We've got to get to a point where we realize that we are a community. We are one. We are together. And we should not be standing around in a circle watching somebody get the shit beat out of them. It doesn't matter if we like the person that's getting beat up. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And if you want to have a good life, and you want to have blessings flow to you, and you want abundance, and you want, I want, well, you ain't going to have shit if all you're doing is supporting something negative, and you're not standing up to justice. Not standing up to justice is a whole reason why our world looks like it does. That's a whole reason why we've got kids trapped underground. That's a whole reason why organs are sold. That's a whole reason why we have a freaking island full of pedophile. That's a whole reason why we got what we got going on medically. That's a whole reason why we got the lockdown. Why? Because we don't stand up. We look the other way. It's too big. Oh, I don't want to deal with it. But that child that is underground, suffocating and being raped and hurt is you. That is part you. The child that's going to school, that lives in the ghetto and is getting the shit beat out of him every time he goes home, that's part you. You might be sitting in your nice little house and stuff, but at the end of the day, when all the material falls down, you're going to see it's just a big old ball of energy. And we need to come together and you need to pay attention to the people that are trying to help you, not the ones that are trying to entertain you. This isn't about entertainment. This isn't why, if somebody's jumping on here to be entertainment, that's like, that's a TV show. This isn't a TV show. This is real fucking life. When you join my life, I live the way I talk. I'm not perfect, but I live the way I talk. I can take you all through my house. There's nothing about me that's different when I'm off camera. You need to pay attention to people like that. I'm not saying you can't, people can do whatever drug they want to do. But there are certain drugs that alter the mind. And not every spirit or thing that you're hearing is from above. That's why it's important to understand spirituality when you're dibbling in it. Because your message is, I'm getting a message. You may be getting a message and it sounds very angelic, but it could be from the lower level. Very easily from the lower level. Do you talk to anybody? Do you believe everything that a stranger comes up and says to you? Think about this for a second, guys. Do you believe everything this dude comes up and starts talking to you? You're going to believe everything he says? Are you going to just kind of, you're going to use your intuition? You're going to kind of feel this out. It's the same thing you need to do with the downloads you get, because not everything is from above. Because if you're sitting on a lower vibration, trust me, it's not coming from above. Higher level energy is not going to come down to meet you. No one's coming to save you. There's no aliens, Jesus, anything that's coming to save you. You have to rise up to reach that level. Now you can use those energies and Jesus and angels and stuff to help you when things are going bad and you need assistance. That's not what I'm talking about. Because yes, they will help you. What I'm talking about is the lower level energies. Somebody's sitting on, anybody that's going to sit there and claim to be God, but yet call you an idiot, call you the C word, I'm not even going to say it, call you a B word, call you, no, that is not from God. God is not a man. God is nothing but an energy. It is love. It is love. God is love. It's even, how many times is it written in the Bible? God is love. Quit looking for God to appear in a man, because that's not how it works. Stop believing. Nobody can take your power away from you unless you allow it. And so many of these light workers out here, you guys are scared to death of this dude. Why? Because he might talk shit about you? So what? Who the fuck is he? Let him talk his shit. Let him talk. Let him say whatever he wants to. But you should be standing up for what's right. You're in that circle, like I said at the beginning of this live. Imagine being in a circle and there's this dude beating the shit out of somebody and you are in the circle just watching it. You may not be throwing the punches. You may not be kicking. But you standing there and supporting it, sharing it, commenting on it is exactly the same thing as punching and kicking. It's no different. And when that is a very good point, Jesse. When somebody has mental illness, because you have to have mental illness to be talking to some level of what this individual is talking. It's cruel to feed into their illusions. How are you helping them? How are you helping them by feeding into their illusions? You're hurting them, and you will pay for that. You're creating your own karma from just being on this live. Not this one, but that one. Or anyone that is doing negative. This only exists in our community because we allow it. Imagine we're all on the street. We have a house and it has a pedophile in it, and he keeps fucking raping our kids. But we don't stand up and say anything. We just let him hurt our kids. Because we're scared. It's no different, guys. Spirituality is a very dangerous place. You have to ground yourself. You have to keep yourself protected. Spirituality is a playground for the narcissists, as pedophiles, the playground for kids is for the pedophiles. It's no different. And if I had my face in here in the screen and I was screaming and I was cussing you out and I was telling you what a piece of shit you were, I would have 100 people on here. Now that's fucked up. I'm sorry, that is fucked up. It should not be like that. But it's like that because you guys helped make it be like that. We have to stick together and change this. We have to stick together and change this. Hey, Amanda. How is someone going to get the help that they need if every day they can come on and talk crazy and people feed into that and help that person, they help that person believe that that this is true, that this reality is true? How is that helpful? Are you not of love and light? Do you not want to help humanity? Do you not want to help make it be a better place? It's not always an easy thing to do, guys. And sometimes we're going to get some backlash from it. But when you stand up for justice and you stand in what's right, you have the powers behind you. Why do you think that nothing formed against me may prosper? Why do you think that is in there? There's truth in that book. There's some lies, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of truth in that book. We have to come together. We've got to put it into this bullshit. And the only way to do that is to, meditate on it, that it go away. Pray on it, that it goes away. Pray that this person gets the help that they need. And then don't support the videos. You can't support that. If you support that, then you are in the damn circle kicking the person that's getting the shit beat out of them. It's the same thing. Do you see what I mean? Does that make sense how I'm talking about it? I tried to use that example because that's about as close to reality as it is. We're here to uplift. Now there's a bunch of people just want to jump on here and just try to make their money and get you to get rid of. Yeah. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. But if that's all that they want, then then things are getting kind of skewed. Things are getting a little skewed. But you need to pay attention to there's a lot, look for the helpers. Remember that saying. Don't ever forget that. I remember hearing, oh my goodness, who was it? Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers is the one that said that. And I remember being a little kid. And when I left home at 10, I used to sneak into the library. And I would stay in the library because it was warm. They had a water fountain. And I could hide. And they had a little TV. And I remember hearing that in the distance, Mr. Rogers talking about that. And that stuck with me. Look for the helpers. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. And the helpers, we all need to come together. And if you guys are light workers and keeping your gifts to yourself, shame on you. You should step up and help the community. Yes, I know it's scary. But it is what it is. Okay, lo is. It is what it is. But let me tell you, after you do it, it's not as scary. See, things are only the baddest are going to get the very first time. Remember that. No matter what you have to deal with in life, remember that it's only that very first time is it going to reach its highest peak that it's ever going to reach. And whatever the obstacle is, it's going to hit that highest peak. And then once it hits that highest peak, and you've conquered that, when it comes to going towards it again, it'll never be able to get that high again against you. It never can. It's that first time. You have to get over that first time. And it doesn't matter what it is. And look, things are going to happen. Shit happens. This is life. Hell, a couple weeks ago, I got my purse stolen. Things happen. But I still have a beautiful life. You know? You have to... I mean, I've lost my husband, and I'm building a better life now. Not better from him, but I'm building a better life. For the first time since my husband's death, me and DJ have our own place. We lost my home a couple of years ago. And we have our own place now. The first time. You talk about a weird feeling. DJ's going to have his own room. I'm going to have my own room. We haven't had that in a couple of years. Sleep on the floor, guys. There's a lot about my life I don't share with people. Because it's not about that. I'm sharing this with you now because I want you to understand that things get better. Things always get better. And you can always rebuild. There's nothing, I don't give a fuck what you own. If you lost it all tomorrow, you could rebuild it. So if a hurricane comes and it takes your house, that's going to suck. There's a lot of memories in there. There's a lot of things. But all that can be replaced. We have to start looking at what's important. This failure to do that is the reason why we're in the situation we are. This is the only way to get off the loop. We as humanity, we are on a fucking loop. We are all collectively stuck on this loop. And it's a little changes and it's a little things like what I'm talking about. Changing that, little bitty things, changing them a little bit at a time is what brings about change. And then you send that energy out. And it reaches someone else. Say you have spirituality. How many of you literally sit in meditation for other people? You have to start walking the talk, guys. You can't just buy the crystals and, buy the books, buy the cards, buy the pendulum and think that you're spiritual. Spirituality is in action. It's not in possessions. These are just freaking tools. These are all just tools. That's all they are. They're just tools. That's all. And if they were all to be gone tomorrow, it would suck. But I could still be me and do me without them. We all need to step into our spirituality. You don't have to jump on a live and do readings if that's not what I'm talking about. You can display spirituality in your daily behavior. Saying please and thank you and holding the door and putting the cart back and maybe letting somebody out. Not getting mad in traffic. Paying attention to what you're listening to. Pay attention to what you're eating. Pay attention to what you believe in. Pay attention to who you're watching. Pay attention to what the people around you, how they sound. When you feel it in your heart to give support and love, do it. If you feel it in your heart to give some money to somebody, then do it. Because that means you're being led. And it will come back threefold. Everything always comes back threefold. Guys, I had a home for 13 years with my husband. The same home. Full of nice, beautiful things. And I'm starting with no furniture, no dishes. I'm starting completely over. But that stuff is not what is important. It's that I'm starting over. And it's that overwhelming joy that you can feel. And you get to rebuild. You get to rebuild. You always can rebuild. There's nothing that can't be rebuilt. There might be some relationships you can't go back to. But there's nothing that can't be rebuilt. And you still can build a good relationship with that person you're never going to talk to again just by praying for them and wishing them well. If we want to change, we're going into a new year, guys. We're fixing to have the biggest portal of the year. We have these little portals every month, and people play with them. They don't even really take it seriously. And I say that because what ritual do you have for them? Do you not have one? Oh, well then you must not be taking it serious. Because see, these portals open. And they always give you an opportunity to go into them and create the life that you want. There's always a portal every month. And this month is going to be the biggest portal because it's the ending of a year and we're starting a year. Can we not take control of our community and make it a community of love and light like we say? Can we get rid of the pedophile that's living down the street now so they quit raping the kids? Can we do that? Can we stop watching the guy beat the shit out of the other guy? Can we do that? There's a lot of people out here that have a lot to offer to help. And I'm not throwing this in as an advertising, so please don't take it that way. But that's the whole reason of me building this university. See, most people build something and it's just all about them. Right? They want it to be all about them. Look what I can do. Now granted, there's 11 classes there you're going to need to take that I teach. But I'm going to open the platform up for other people that have other ways of doing things and can teach you other things. You're going to have access to these people. I'm going to allow them to put their stuff on that website. I'm creating a university. Y'all think I'm joking? I'm not joking. Unique University. UU. And the U's will crisscross. So if you want to learn something over here, you want to learn about crystals, or you want to learn about, past lives, or maybe Akash records, or maybe you want to learn how to read cards, or maybe you want to, do more on self-worth and, counseling, or whatever. It's all going to be there. Now, granted, not every light worker can jump on it. I mean, I've got to check them out. And yes, I am going to use my judgment on who I put on there because my name's on there. But you're going to have access. Why? Because y'all do need a place to go to get information. Because right now you guys are just desperate. You go on the lives and you're just desperate. Oh, can I get a reading? Will you please read me? Do you not realize when you ask that you're opening up your soul, you're connecting your energy to that individual? So whatever they have, you now have. Do you not see that? And you want that message, but you don't even know that person well enough to know, are they getting the messages from above or below? Above or below? Do you know? Do you know enough about that person? Oh no, they're just pulling cards. So pull me one. It's like playing with fire. It really is. And I'm not trying to be mean here. I want the best for you guys. Anytime you join a live in somebody's reading, just sit there for a minute. What does it feel like? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel uneasy? Pay attention to how you feel. How people make you feel. Don't let the words override the feeling. Because words are just words. The feeling is coming to you intuitively. Tap into your own intuition. I've been a giver my whole life, even when I didn't have much. I fed homeless people. I helped my neighbor and good community whenever. That's great. And this individual even went to as far as to lie about DJ's program. A program that a kid at 9 years old, 9, and I can prove it. I mean, there's, CBS did a story on him. He did a podcast. He's got his trademark. He owns a name. He's got business cards. He's had this since he was 9. And this dude went on there and said, oh, Tanya, she stole some money and she's on community service and that's the only reason why she does what she does. What? Now, granted, I'm not saying I haven't been no angel my whole life. There is a period of time, I was kind of gangster. Actually, if I didn't have my daughter, I damn sure wouldn't be sitting here. My daughter is what saved my life. I was going down a very different road. I could tell you guys stories and it'd blow your freaking mind. You wouldn't even believe that I was in that. But I have been blessed to be guided. I had no idea what I was being guided by. But I've been blessed. And every single time I would hear something really loud in my head. And I just kind of thought I was crazy. And I kind of thought the people that I saw were... I was crazy. I tried to tell my parents about it. And guess what they did? They put me in a place so they could run these tests and everything. They thought I was crazy because I could see people. And I could tell stories about people. So they, here I am, 6 years old in some kind of little freaking crazy place. A lady across from me's brushing the hairs on her freaking legs. I get in trouble because I ain't wearing shoes because I like to go barefoot. I get put in what they call the shit room. And that's literally a cell with a little window up at the top. No toilet, nothing. It was nasty as hell. I was 6 years old, all for not wearing shoes. They made me stay up. They did all these, put on these little things on my head, trying to listen to me sleep. They couldn't figure it out. They weren't supposed to. And in 4 years from that moment, I was on the streets living by myself. Spirit is strong. Spirit kept me alive. Spirit, I can't tell you how many angels have come into my life and stepped in and gave a helping hand when out of nowhere. But you have to maintain being a good person at heart. The minute that you lose this and you give in to, well, fuck everybody. The minute you do that, you've lost. I don't give a shit what happens to you. You cannot get rid of that. Cry if you must. Scream, hoop, holler, whatever you need to do. But in your soul, you do not change. You do not change. You remain good and intact, and something will come along. It is the universal law. And if you have a huge heart, there's nothing wrong with it. Just have boundaries. The problem is you guys do this, and then people take advantage of you, and then you don't want to do things anymore. And this is your fault. It's not the person that took advantage of you's fault. And this is the truth that people don't want to hear. They don't want to hear this truth, because then they have to take a responsibility. But the truth is, we can't control what that person did, but we allowed that energy around us. We allowed that person in our space. We did not put up the boundaries that we needed to do. Now, I am not talking about anything physical, sexual, or anything like that. I'm not talking about abuse. I'm talking about, because there's free will, and free will can override you. But even if that happens, which has happened to me, that's how I lost my virginity. I'll share a little piece of something with you. I was 13 years old. My stepfather, we were out camping, and he said, "You want to go for a boat ride?" And it was nighttime, and it was pretty. And I said, yes. Even though I didn't feel okay about it, I said yes. Should have listened. I should have listened. Now, it's not my fault that happened. But I have to learn from that experience. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not my fault that he raped me out on that boat and kept my head underwater while he raped me. That's not my fault. But in my soul, I felt not to go. And that is my fault. Could it have still happened? Yes. But I still have to follow what's in my soul. You have to follow what's in your soul. This is why things happen. How many times if you go back and you look and you say, I knew. The point is, that you guys know what's going on in our community is wrong. You know it. You have something to contribute to this community. You have love and energy and prayers and other things that you could send out to the world to help it be a better place. It is every single one of us responsibility to do that. And we should not be watching an idiot tear somebody down. We should not be doing that. My son is a very, very, he's a great kid. And for him to want to make a live to address Francisco for calling it his program and not real and all that was crazy. But he stood up. See, DJ's not the type for confrontation. He doesn't do confrontation. He wants to talk things out. But see, there comes a time you have to stand up. And I had to let him stand up by himself. I couldn't be there because he needed to do it. So what I'm getting at here, guys, is that quit watching the shit shows. Pay attention what you're feeding your energy. Just like you're not going to eat some mildewed, rotten plate of food, right? Thank you for the stars, Mary. You're not going to sit there and chow down on some rotten, stinky food. The next time you see one of those lives, I want you to picture a nasty plate of food. It's the same thing. It's just in a different form. And you guys got to understand that. Because you're going to be held accountable for your participation. I promise you. Because now it's to the point that people that are on that live could be dead and we don't even know. That's pretty serious. This is when they said, I take, I had open heart surgery and I take this blood thinner. Should I stop? Yes. Stop taking it now. Did she? Did she stop taking it? Is she alive? Oh, I don't know. You don't know. See, when we get up here and we put our face on this camera, we do have a responsibility. And there are some spiritual ethics. I got in an argument with somebody. In fact, I had to eventually ban them from my page. They were mad. They wanted to do a mediumship where they could call in a goddess. They wanted to call in a goddess in a mediumship. I said, you can't do that. Mediumship is to help loved ones with grief. That's the purpose of mediumship. It's not something that you pick up the phone and you're just going to dial anybody that's dead on the other side because you want to talk to them. You want to do that, then get in meditation and you ask them to come to you. You ask them to come to you. I got into, this person was really, really irate about it. And then they wanted to take my class. I said, no. I don't want that energy. You're irate, cussing me out because I won't do a mediumship, but yet you want to take my class? No, thank you. Sure, I need money just like all the rest of you. But I'm not here to just take anybody's money. After you finish with my class, I'm going to do a mediumship and all about angels. Not just anybody's going to be able to take that class. I'm not going to sit here and just teach just any Tom, Dick, or Harry, Sally, Sue, or Jane how to do something like that. No. I'm going to feel your energy. What are you going to do with this gift? What is your plan? Because for me, it's a freaking honor to be able to connect to spirit. It's a freaking honor to be able to help in that area. And I don't flaunt it. Because there's no reason to. Spirit comes when spirit wants to come. You want to book a reading? Sure, I can pull them up. But it's not to pull up, oh, I want to talk to this goddess. Or, hey, let me talk to Robin Williams. Or, hey, let me talk to... if I was to pull somebody up, because I already have my husband and everybody, but if I was to pull somebody up, I'd love to talk to Robin Williams. But that's not how you use... just like with the magic. Man, I want to teach you guys candle magic and herb magic. Because there's a lot of beauty in that. Yes, some people take it and do something wrong with it. But that's how come we have the beautiful thing. When you truly, truly understand this, you'll see things in a lot different way. You have to see the heinousness of evil to appreciate the majesty of love. Ravi Zacharias quote. And it's very true. You have to see how ugly and nasty something can be to appreciate how some beautiful is. And it has to go in that direction. Because you're not, if it's just put in front of you, you're not going to appreciate how beautiful something is or someone is. It's from that heartache or that loss that now you see that person, that good person, and you can appreciate it because you know what it feels like to be over there. See, there's reasons for the lessons. In some of the lessons, everybody's had the same lesson, just in different ways. But there's lessons whether you like or not. I don't care how much money you have, where you come from, what color you are. It doesn't make any difference. You're going to go through some lessons. You came here to learn, grow, and love. You can't learn without lessons. You learn so you can grow. You take the lessons so you can learn and grow, and then you love. What is my purpose? What should I be doing? Learning, growing, and loving. Now, whatever measure you want to do that in is on you. You'll find that out later. But that is your purpose. So, I wanted to jump on and talk about this because, and you know what? My name's going to be, thrown around and mushed, and, I'm a fat bitch and I'm ugly and, I can't deal with my husband's debt. I mean, I've been told everything. And I don't give a shit. Yeah, I'm overweight, but I'm working on it. You don't know how or why I got like this. You don't know my story. You just look at me and think you know. One of the stupidest things people can do to people is just look at them and assume that you know everything about their story. Because even if you're intuitive and a reader, there's going to be bits and pieces. We are not allowed to, we will never get to the point where we can see everything about somebody intuitively. Because we are not angelic beings. There is going to be a limit. And that also is why life on earth is so wonderful. But it's okay. I know. I'm not happy with it. I'm doing something to change it. You can either love me through the change or get away from me, man. Give a shit. What we don't have time for is to give a shit what other people think of us. What we don't have time for is to waste our time watching negative bullshit. What we don't have time for is giving people like that space and energy and feeding them. What we don't have time for is not standing up for ourselves and our family and our loved ones. What we don't have time for is to be run over. Everything can be done in a loving way, no matter how rough and how hard it is. It can still be done in a loving way. And I just want you guys to really think about what you're listening to. And pay attention to the people that are busting their ass to help you. Pay attention to those people. Look for the helpers. There's a lot of them out there. It's not just me. There's a shitload of helpers out there. Look for them. Grow. Learn, grow, and love, my love. I could have jumped on here and done cards. I need money really bad. I got to replace my phones. But see, that's not what Spirit told me to do. Spirit told me to come in here and talk to you one-to-one and ask you guys to please stop. That's why the live says that. Please stop. Spirit has come to me to ask you guys to please stop. Believe it or not. Take it or leave it. I'm just a messenger. I just do my job. Because one thing I've learned is, whatever Spirit tells me, that's where I'm going. Even a lot of times it's been a direction I didn't want to go. And I thought it was against me. But it came out to be the best blessing of my life. You want blessings to flow, you have to be a blessing. You want to have abundance, and you have to stand in gratitude every fucking day. Don't just say, oh yeah, I'm grateful. No, how grateful are you? Do you mention 3 things that you're grateful for before you go to bed? Do you look at what you have in awe and appreciation? Or are you just too busy with your daily life? You have to be careful. You have to balance that 3D. Yes, you have to have a busy life. Yes, you have to work. Yes, you have to pay bills. But you have to find that balance to where you can stand in gratitude. You stand in gratitude, that's where abundance. Gratitude equals abundance. Gratitude equals abundance. And remember that abundance, don't be waiting for the great big abundance of money or the great big abundance of a relationship or the great big abundance of this. Pay attention to the small abundance, because it's those small abundant things, those small blessings that come to you that weigh more than the big ones. And if you can't notice and appreciate those small ones as they're being given to you, why in the hell do you think you're going to get that big one? You can't even manage the small ones. No, don't be like that, my love. You appreciate those little blessings. So you can start that energy vortex. See, it starts as vortex. And then pretty soon that vortex gets going bigger and bigger. Everything starts a vortex. Everything. My child Lord talked to me about that. Everything starts a vortex. Because it's energy. I challenge you guys every night. Think of 3 things that you're grateful for. I don't give a shit if you're grateful that you have a roof over your head, or you're laying in a bed, or you took a shower today, or you got something to eat. It doesn't matter what it is that you're grateful for. Just find 3 things and say it out loud every single day. Do that for 21 days. I challenge you. Right now. Do it. And see how things start to change. Sunday we're going into that portal, guys. Take advantage of going into the portal. But you have to know what it is that you want. People want abundance. People want this, but why? What are you going to do with it? What is your plan? That's what you need to be thinking about. And you need to make a plan of attack. You have a big goal, and you break it down into smaller goals. So we have a big goal that we're going to, at least no more than 3 big goals. Really big ones for the year 2022. And then we have 12 months in a year where we can sit down with a paper and pen and do it. You have 12 months coming up where you can achieve this, because you got to break it down in small bits and pieces. And I'm telling you, if you put your heart in this and you stick with it, Spirit will come up behind you and things will just start going every kind of direction and in your favor. And then you have to be willing to accept it and believe that you're worthy for it. That's half the battle. See, receiving is not all the battle. Sorry, I'm not really looking at comments. Even in the biggest financial struggles in our life, we've always managed to survive, and we know we always will. Life, yes. And you have to stand in that faith. You know, as we were putting up the Christmas tree, DJ bought the Christmas tree with his money from his little job. He bought the Christmas tree. And as we are putting things on this Christmas tree, now mind you, I have a Christmas tree in storage, and I have years and years of things that my children have made me, and you know, it's one of those family type of trees, right? And just like, it's just, it's like you just throw up Christmas on it, right? And I love that tree. But he said, Mommy, you can do a sunflower tree. And as I was putting it up, you get that feeling of knowing that everything's starting anew. And it can kind of feel overwhelming at times. So what do you do in that moment? You just stop and you breathe. Just stop and breathe. And allow it to flow. And then it slows down. Then it gets easier. But you have to work with your breath. When those thoughts come, oh shit, I think I might mess that up. Oh no, you can't handle that. You need to start breathing. Remember, we tell our mind what to do, right? Not our mind tell us what to do. We have to change. We have to flip the script. We have to flip the script. It's not a question. It's, now, Sunday I'm doing a holistic fair, so I will be at South Lake, Texas. If anybody's in the area, you can come see me there. I'll go live from there, and of course I'll walk around if you guys want to see the vendors. But between now and Sunday, and I tell you that, I mean, I'll go live that evening. But I will tell you that Jessica, and I don't normally, promote people, but Jessica is my sister. And she and Alonzo are going to do a really cool meditation talk. 12-12. It's going to be 12-12, and they're doing it. They're going to start it at 12-12. So it's going to be a really cool thing. It's only like $4.99. I think you sign up on our page. I'm not sure. You'd have to go over there and check it out. But I with Alonzo doing what he's going to do, and Jessica, of course, but with Alonzo stepping up and doing what he's going to do, is going to be worth way more than that $4.99. And you guys do that, and then in the evening I will come in and I'll do something with you as well. But between now and then, you need to think of 3 things. Keep everything in 3s, guys. Don't break that. Keep it in 3s. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Keep it in 3s. What are the 3 biggest things that you want to come out? If you could have right now in your life, what are those things that are in your highest, greatest good? Not in your selfishness, but in your greatest, highest good. Figure out what those 3 things are. And then I want you to break them down into 12 steps. And I'm going to teach you guys how to use the moon with those steps. There's nothing wrong with the moon. That talk of the moon is evil, that's bullshit. The moon is here to help us. See, when somebody's telling you that the very things that are for you to help you, they're trying to keep you from being helped. Pay attention. Listen. And look at that. And really sit down with that. And you can work with this portal. And meditate with this. And I guarantee you that if you do this, you'll go back and Spirit will tell you to change, a thing or two here on how to get it. You'll get these downloads. Oh, wait a minute. I think I'll do it this way. Da, da, da. and write that down. One of the biggest healers is a pen and paper, guys. Write that shit down. Don't just say, oh yeah, I want this, da 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 da. No, write it down. Get serious. Quit fucking around. Quit procrastinating. Now, this next year is all about manifestation. This next year is a year to make things happen. I'm telling you, it's already, you know, my guides, and not just one, but several of my guides have pushed this to me. This year is going to be all about manifestation. And a lot of it is from within. I'm not talking about just material, guys. A lot of it is from within. We need to get to a place. The goal is for you guys and me, is we need to get to a place that if you were to die, you would not regret anything. Think about that for a minute. If you were to die in your sleep, you would not regret anything. Now, take away the living in regret. Letting go of the things that you did miss. You missed that opportunity. It's gone. Let it go. Don't sit in it. Let that shit go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You have to let it go, man. And then you got to look, because there's new opportunities always coming at you. Every single one of you have something so beautiful to give the world. Every single one of you. And every single one of you are a part of the puzzle. And let's write this down and let's work on this. I know for a fact, guys, this time next year is going to be unbelievable for me. Things are going to blow up big time. I've already seen it. I mean, I'm blessed that, you know, they took the time to show me. And yet you can see it too. Because you want to see it. See, you need to be able to see it. Can you see it? In your mind's eye, can you see it? Can you taste it? Can you touch it? Because, see, your mind doesn't know what's real or not. Your eyes don't know that that's not real. They just see it. That's how you take control of the mind. You have to, you know, oh, I can't meditate. Yes, you can. You do it all the time. You do it when you wash dishes. You can do it when you take a shower. You can do it when you're listening to music. You can do it when you're driving your car. You can do it when you're outside with your garden. You can do it, you know, when you're doing your, you know, what else? It's not always this, Meditation can come in many forms and fashions, and you need to enjoy every single one of them. And you do need to make those times where you sit down and you're doing the You do need to have those. But you work up to those. But you work up to those by stretching your muscle. You have to stretch your muscle. And your muscle is to be in the now. See, that's the whole reason why we do meditation, is to learn how to live in the now. To live in the now, because that's what's real. All this other shit is not real. Yes, you want to put something in a plan, and you want to make a plan, but then we put it there and we work towards it, but we don't obsess over it. And if we don't do something that we said that we would do that day, we're not going to beat ourselves up and tell ourselves, oh, fuck it, you know, I got to give up. I knew I wouldn't follow through. No. You fucked up. Get up and do it again. Do your best. That's why the book club we're doing, which is the Tuesday after Christmas. This Tuesday we're doing on grief. We're all coming together and talking about grief on a Zoom. But the book club is going to be about the 4 agreements. But that's one of the best ones out of it is, just do your best. That's all you can do. You can't do what I do. I can't do what you do. You're not me and I'm not you. We are one, but we are individually here to experience. Yes, we are one, but you are here to learn, grow, and love in a different capacity as I am. And we are supposed to help each other get there. We're supposed to walk each other down. We're supposed to support each other when we have bad moments and when we're having great moments. We're supposed to be a support system. This spiritual realm is not a support system. It's a freaking joke. Scammers all over the place. We should, I put up every Tuesday there's a group that you can be a part of and help build a community. And maybe there's some other ones out there. I don't know. But that's what we need to be doing. Let's use this tool. Let's utilize what we have to our advantage. And we can get up to, 100 people. When we come in numbers, that's why, when they talk of the church, this part of the thing is true. They just kind of warped it to keep control. But they were telling the truth that power is in numbers. And that's why going to church and having those kind of things are important. And I think Jessica was even talking about doing stuff on Sunday mornings or whatever. It's important to have that kind of thing where we come together because our power is in numbers. We're powerful by ourselves, but when we put ourselves together and we're all in the right intent, it changes things. So, please stop feeding that crazy bullshit over there. Report it. Stay away from it. Don't like it. Don't share it. Don't have it associated with you. Because now people's lives are in danger. I am sure for a fact, because Spirit has told me and has even shown me through my remote viewing, there are a few people that leave that live that end up committing suicide. It's kind of like the Marilyn Manson effect type of thing. The what's his name with the Kool-Aid? Y'all need to go study that guy. And I forget, Jim Jones. The Jim Jones. Talking about the ships coming and only certain people can go. And, that's not how the world was created. Only certain people. No. Now, you may have your uniqueness, and I have my uniqueness, but we're not above each other in this realm. That's not how it works. We might be above each other in the spiritual realm. I don't know what your placement is over there. I can find out, but I don't know right now. I know where mine is over there. And I also know why I don't stay over there. And after this life, I will come back. People say, I don't want to come back. Why? There's so much beauty here. There's so much love. There's so much, the animals, the scenery, children, relationships, friends, family. There's too much beauty. I could hug you. No. And I'm not here. These people say, "Oh, I'm a warrior and I'm here to change." Okay, well, if you're a warrior, what good are you doing? What are you spreading? What positivity are you putting out there in the world? If you think that you are a warrior or a Archangel Michael or Archangel Raphael or Gabriel or whatever angel you think you are, which you physically could not be, what are you doing? What are you putting out in the world? How are you contributing? Oh, you're just talking about how great you are, huh? That you got this power? Get the fuck out of here with that. You ain't got shit. It's people that will spread love that has power. Love is power. Love is power. Period. It all starts with love. It all ends with love. It's all about love. Why? Because God is love. He's a consciousness. He's an energy of love. Oh my God. I started itching. That's what he is. He's just and you got to understand that. And once you really truly understand that, then you can see it everywhere. See, I am blessed because I can see every one of y'all's abilities and love and energy. I can see it. I can feel it. I can smell it. I could touch it if I wanted to. I could remote myself right next to you and touch you like a spirit if I wanted to. But I don't utilize that. But my point in saying that is that I know what you're about. And you have so much beauty and so much great things that you could do. It's time for you to do that. And no act of kindness is too small. None. Don't ever think that. We're coming on Christmas. This is a very bad time of the year for people. That's why it's even worse that those videos are out. He's doing those videos like that. There's people that have lost people. The first couple years of a holiday suck. And you know what? It's going to suck. And it's been 5 years and it's still going to suck. But I control how long of the day that it sucks. I'm going to allow it 30 minutes of my day. Okay, grief, you've got 30 fucking minutes to hit me with whatever you want to hit me with. You want to make me cry, you want to make me scream, you want me to hit the pillow, whatever you want. And when that timer goes off, I'm done with you today. I'm done with you today, and I am going to enjoy the rest of my day. And not feel guilty. Never push your feelings away, but you give them a time. Don't sit there in there. So I know you guys have so much and you can help so much. And you'll be so much happier. And at the end of the day, that's my goal. Not that I'm all this. But my goal is to help you be the best person you can be. Give you some little tools in your tool belt. And send you on your way to learn. I'm always going to be here. And I'm going to be the same today, tomorrow. I might evolve and start doing, change a few things. But I'm solid. My belief system, my faith is solid. And it ain't changing for fucking nobody. That's what you need to be following. Watch people that change their faith. Because faith ain't nothing to play with. You don't play with faith. And you damn sure don't take advantage of it. There's a lot of people just like me. Many of you guys are just like me. I'm not the only one. And we need to stand up and rise together and spread love. Your timeline should be filled with love. You should be sharing my shit too. I'm just going to throw that in there. Because I make all my shit. But you should be, and if somebody, you notice somebody is having a hard time, reach out to them. Leave them a nice little message. Oh, thank you. 16 years, December 26th for my mama. It still sucks. Kids have given me the joy to be excited for the holidays. I don't let it get me down. Yeah. I've just gotten to where I time it. I really do. It's like, okay. Thanksgiving came. It's like, okay. You got an hour. And I did. I played my song. I boo-hooed. And I set the timer. I said, hey, Google, set the timer. And I got up. And I was actually able to enjoy the day better that way than I've been able to enjoy it since he's died. Because it wasn't just him. It was my mother and my brother, right? So that was actually one of the best holidays that I've had since they died. Why? Because I controlled and manipulated that energy. I gave myself the time. I did not deny myself that space. I gave myself the space. I honored my broken side. I honored her. And I gave her the space that she needed. But I also put up a boundary and told her, you're only going to have this much time. And in doing so, it didn't leak out. You know how sometimes, like when you're, especially you guys that have lost somebody, you start enjoying yourself and then all of a sudden, something hits you and then you just, it's run, right? Because you just have that memory or that feel. But see, when you do it like that, you still have those moments, but instead of it being painful, it's a blessing. Because then you get to realize that you're only getting that because they're trying to say hello. That's their way of saying hello. But you have to allow and honor yourself, the pain part of you, some time. So, that's what I wanted to jump on here today and talk about. Yeah, you plan your cry time. That's good. Yes, love. So, guys, please pay attention. And, report things that are wrong. Don't just stand around the circle and watch somebody get beat down. Don't do that. You've come too far. You're working too much on your own stuff. Don't do that to yourself. Don't bring that karma on. You're better than that. You got shit to do. You got people to love. You got things to do. You have contributions to make. Fuck that stuff over there. Alright? So I love you guys very much. And I will be live later. Not today, but I will be going live this weekend. I want to do, and then I am at that event. So if you live in the Fort Worth or in Dallas, DFW area, I'll be in South Lake. It's a pretty cool laid-back event. And then I'm also doing a talk there. So I'll be doing a talk. I think they got me at 1 p.m. Grief, the Lifetime Disease. So I'll be doing a talk. And I'll go live from there. Y'all can get something if you see something you want. Or, I'm going to also do like a little time for me to pull cards and stuff like that. But go check out Jessica's thing for the 12-12-12. That'll be very cool to do. And check out the classes. Because I'm only going to let so many in the class. Okay? And that's going to start on the 18th. So we got a week. It's 2 days for an hour and a half. And I'm going to give you a 15-minute break in between that hour and a half. We're going to hit on spiritual hygiene, which is going to be awesome because it's going to be right before the holidays, and you're going to need this. This will make your holidays a lot better, knowing these tips and tricks and stuff. Okay. Love you guys. If you're interested in any of that, remember, if you're a supporter, you save $10 off the class. Supporters are only paying $27.77, and if you're not a supporter, it's $37.77. And you're going to get your money's worth of $37.77 from me. I make, not to brag, I don't mean this, but you know, I can make up to $150 an hour if I want to. And for some people, that's what, you know. But on the average, I make about $60-70 an hour doing this stuff. So, but I don't do it a whole lot. I'd have a lot more money if I did, I guess. But I'm busy trying to build something else. But anyway, my point in saying that is that $37.77 isn't much. And I promise you, you're going to walk away with some pretty cool tools to put in your belt. Alright? I love you guys. Have a blessed night. And I will talk at you later. And please, don't be a part of the circle. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. Love you.